So we're so thrilled to bring this next guest to the Rail Talk studio. He's one of our favorite trainers at West Point. The king of the long shots is what I always call him. He's won a bunch of big races by taking some chances. Dallas Stewart, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here, Joe.
Great to have you, man. And I thought this was going to be a great week for you to come on because Louisiana racing is in the news for not so great reason, but it's in the news. I very closely associate you with Louisiana racing. You know, you're a mainstay down in NOLA, down at Fairgrounds. If anybody is watching that didn't watch last week's show, first of all, how dare you? But secondly, the Louisiana Racing Commission pulled back the drug regulations and loosened them basically and reduced withdrawal times for certain drugs, clenbuterol included. And a lot of people said this is a very bad step back and something that is, proves why we need the oversight that we have with HISA. Dallas, I'll leave it up to you. What was your reaction when you saw that news?
Well, if you look at the TDN, you'll see several trainers with their reaction and quite shocked, actually. And the clenbuterol thing is really gotten us. We're not happy with it. I made a few notes here. It just has no place in racing. I mean, it's a drug that was helpful at one time, but it's an overprescribed drug. It's an over-administered drug. It's not good for the horses. Maybe if it's administered properly, but it's a situation where it's not. And, it's got that steroid effect, and it's not good. We got away from it. We're doing fine without it. I don't know. Maybe Louisiana thought they were helping us, helping the horsemen by bringing it back, but it's just not. We got to get it reversed. And we've talked to several people down there. I've talked to Governor Landry's assistant. He's got some notes to him, and I've told him how I felt, and I'm from New Orleans, and we love going there, and we love racing there, and it's going great. It's going very good there. The Louisiana Derby, the meet was fantastic. A lot of nice horses. Sierra Leone prepped there. I mean, a lot of good horses. And it's a great place to prep. Of course, West Point Thoroughbreds, who you work for and I've worked for 25 years, has had horses there and done quite terrific, And West Point has other trainers. They go there and they all do well, and we love it there. But this drug, has got to be put on the back burner. Like I think it was 2 weeks was the withdrawal time, and now they've moved it to 3 days. Well, we know that, once they open the door, that it's going to be abused, and it's just not a place in racing that we need. So we're on it, and we've gotten word to the governor. I've talked to 2 racing commissioners, Louisiana racing commissioners. I feel like they're on it. We have a partner with West Point Thoroughbreds, Craig Accardo, that's related to the lieutenant governor, Mr. Nungesser, and we're going to do a conference call with him, with a couple other trainers, and Terry Finley, and we're going to just make it known. And I'm all talking about the clenbuterol, the injections. I mean, we'll let the vets fight that out about what needs to be, because I'm not so versed on, how much injection you can do. We're going to let them fight that out. My thing is the clenbuterol.
Right.
And, we just don't need these rules to set us back when we're going so much the right way. I mean, everybody's working hard to keep the horses healthy because we love the horses. We don't want things to happen. We love what we do. First and foremost, listen, I haven't won a race at Churchill yet. I'm 0 for 20, but I still love my job. I still love my horses. And I'm going to be there at 4:30 in the morning, petting my horses, watching my horses train, loving what I do. And I have a lot of people that work for me that are in the same boat. And I don't speak for myself. There'll be other trainers there that just love what they do, and they love the horses, and they want the right thing. And we're going the right way. So we just got to make some points to the Louisiana Racing Commission about this doesn't need to be. We need to have it backed up. We're not here to, nail anybody to the cross. We just want this done. You made a bad decision, but let's get it stopped. And We're going to stay on it till we get it done. I can guarantee you that. I'm going to, and I know other trainers have voiced that opinion that they want it done. So
hell yeah.
Yep. No, Dallas, that's some really good points.
Wear you out, but
No,
No,
no, no.
you're good. I'm
That's
glad. I'm so glad to hear you guys are on it, man. Absolutely.
yeah, and it's kind of strange to a lot of people that like the racing commission didn't reach out to the top trainers
Well,
like
let's
yourself.
don't. This is where we are. We can start
Yep.
talking about that. This guy did this, and
Yep.
you know, Steve Landry. He's the head of it. I don't know him real good, but Al Stahl trains for him. He's got
Right.
to be a pretty good guy. He just made a bad decision. He got some bad
Right.
information.
Yep. And what is a call when you speak to the governor's office? Like, you don't have to tell us verbatim, obviously, because that's that's a privileged conversation. But like, what goes into that conversation? Because I mean that's a big deal to talk to the governor's office about
I
this.
just told him out, and a friend of mine, Jimmy LaFont, who also is a West Point thoroughbred partner, is good friends with the governor. And I just told Hunter, I think his name's Hunter. I just said, listen, we love horses, and the guy said, I love horses too. I said,
Mhm.
this is not good for horses. It's just not good for horses. It's not administered properly. The vets will drop it off at the barn. The barn help might administer it in a wrong way. It's contamination, and then you get bad tests, and it's just not something we need. We have other medications we've been using for 2 years to help horses that have congestions in their lungs and in their airways and stuff. We have those other We've been getting along fine with them, and it's been going good. So we don't need to back up, and
Right.
we just need to stay on this.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that we're worried about a little bit was that if these rules do stay in place, it'll lead to a mass exodus of people from Louisiana racing,
Might
and
be
there being
right.
some kind of
You might be
yeah, and there
right.
being some kind of regulations about like who can ship in and who can ship out.
Yeah.
Like where, what do you think? Obviously, the first part of the question is how optimistic are you that they're going to get reversed? But if they don't, like, what kind of impact do you think this will
Well,
have
let's
on
just go
Louisiana
step
racing?
one. We've just started this. We just started last week. We made the phone calls last week. We're going to make some more this week. And, we're going to get everybody involved that we can. And we're going to get Mrs. Benson involved if we have to. I know she's got a lot of things going on, but she's real tight with everybody there. She's a great person, and I know she loves animals. And I'm just speaking for her because I know she just loves horses and everything, right? But if we need her, we're going to go to her, whoever we can go to make this point. And like I said, they made a bad decision. Okay, I'm sure they think that they was trying to help us. I'm not saying that they were saying, "Hey, we're going to make you guys use the drugs, and it's going to be good, and we're going to be better than everybody else." That's not the case.
Right.
It's a bad decision. It's got to get reversed. That's the bottom line. That's all I care about.
Yep. No, it's a good point. All right, we'll shift gears to more upbeat topics, and that is your former boss won the Preakness, and you were with the coach for over a decade. What was that like? Watching him win at this age of his career.
Man, he got in his truck here at Churchill Downs and drove all the way to Pimlico, 88 years old. He didn't drive. He had a driver, but he rode that truck all the way, got the horse there, got him in there and trained him, and did a fantastic job. And, rode his pony out there, and just shows you the love and the compassion that he has, for
Yep.
the game. And, all the guys that worked for him. And we're just all thrilled.
Well, one of the things that I love about Wayne, and this is something that I think that you maybe have picked up from him, is that he's not afraid to run his horses and take chances. Maybe the horse is a long shot. Maybe they're coming back on short rest. He doesn't care. Horse is doing well. Put him in the race. I think of you like that. Like I said at the Open, you've won a bunch of big races by taking shots. Is that something that you picked up from him along the way? And like, because we're in this era, Dallas, don't you feel, where a lot of trainers are so hyper cautious,
Oh, yeah.
only want to run the horses when they're exactly right in the right, time frame. What's your opinion on that?
Well, you think Wayne Lucas called, several handicappers and guys that are really good, great numbers guys to ask him if he had a shot with
Right.
Caesar Gray in the Preakness? No, he trained him up well, he didn't do much training, but he won the Pat Day Mile. He just
Yeah.
freshened him up, made sure he was feeling good, made sure his legs was good, let his vet look at him, and sent him on down the road. I mean, these numbers the numbers game can either, give you some help, or they can hurt you if you over handicap yourself. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, I picked up a lot of that with him, and sometimes it stinks, it doesn't work out good, but at least we're trying. I mean, most of the guys I've worked for Terry Finley 25 years. At least he knows I'm trying. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
I ain't just training, I'm running. So,
Yep.
there are sometimes I wish I would have thought about it a little more, but I mean, I think the horse is doing good. I mean, that's my job to get him in the race.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and I got to say, sorry, John, I just want to jump in. I got to say, as a handicapper myself, I like guys like you because without guys like you, there's 5 and 6 horse fields every single day littering these cards. Like, you need people to take shots, otherwise it's not a bettable product. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, and Dallas, the other milestone you have coming up is you're closing in on 1,000 wins. I don't know if you realize that you have about 980 right now,
Yeah.
and you should be able to get that certainly by the end of the year, if not by the fall. What does 1,000 victories mean for you?
I mean, look, I just really love what I do, and I mean, it's a good, there's a lot of guys that won a lot more races than me, and but yeah, 1,000's good, but still working hard to get that victory in the Kentucky Derby, and so we dream about that all the time.
Is that the most important race you think? Is that on your bucket list? Is
Well,
to
right
win
now
the Derby?
it is,
Because you were close. You were close.
Yeah, right
before.
now it is, but there's others that I would like to win too. But that right now that would be terrific too. So yes.
Well, and the other thing too is you're not afraid to ship a horse. And I remember we met up at Del Mar last year when you shipped Hoist the Gold out to run in the Pat O'Brien, I believe it was. You used to be up at Saratoga every summer. Now, like, what's your plan for the summer? Because you didn't have you. I think you only shipped into Saratoga last year. What's the game plan outside of Fairgrounds for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. We could send some back to Del Mar. We're talking to them out there. Of course, we've applied for stalls at Saratoga. We want to send some to Saratoga. We're just trying to figure it out. We're in the planning stages now. So talking to the owners, of course, it's not just my decision about what, who needs to be where and what fits where. So you just got to be careful about shipping around because there's such good racing in September, October, November in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. And that's the thing. If you have a good horse, there's places to make money. There's no question about it.
And as you're saying, Hoist the Gold, he's on his way to Saratoga for the Met Mile.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic.
6 horses.
Beautiful.
$1 million.
We're gonna see you up there, I
we own a
assume.
piece of him, Joe.
I know. Hey, that's worked out for you guys plenty well. You're gonna be up there, right? I'll see you this weekend.
Good Lord willing, brother.
Yes, sir. Nice.
To me, to have again, just to go back to working for Dwayne Lucas, for as long as you did, and it must have been like graduate school for you. Is there anything in particular that maybe you remember that he taught you, or that you picked up just through osmosis of watching him, because he's been doing it for a long time?
Right. I mean, he had a way of doing things, and the way he brought his horses over, and just a lot of things around the barn. I was like 26 when I started. I'd been on the track since I was 15, and I had trained horses before, but never at that level. But it was an eye-opening, intense experience that was every day. So you had to be tough to make it. A lot of guys couldn't make it, but a few did, and they've all done pretty well. I'm proud of everybody.
As you should be, man. And one last question from me. I'm a New Orleans guy, but I've never been to Fairgrounds. Obviously it's going to be a little while until that meet starts. I would like to get there in the winter. What are some of the things like around the track that you think I should do if I do get down there, other than hang out with you and Yvette, of course?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great town, for music. A lot of places are free to get in. The food's good, on every corner. The food's good somewhere. The gas station's got great food. There's a lot of things to do. Go see the river, and it's just a lot to do. That's why everybody loves it, and it's survived for over 300 something years. So it's a vibrant place, and it's great for horse racing. We got to get this medication thing ironed out.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. Like I said, I'm so glad to hear that you guys are on it, because
Yes,
you have such credibility. You have such credibility especially in that area of the country. So I can think of nobody better than you and some of the guys that you listed to try to get this reversed. You just got to keep the pressure on.
Look at that TDN, piece, and it mentions Steve Asmussen, and mentions Brad Cox, Mike Stidham, me, Al Stahl, Tom Amos. These are mainstay guys. Some happens we don't go down there. It's going to be problems. So,
oh yeah,
I'm not saying we're not going, but we need to get it fixed so we can go and get it right.
Yep. And the people in charge need to hear that. And I appreciate you guys
Don't worry.
Yeah,
good.
We ain't back. We're not backing down.
And that's so good to hear, especially after.
The rest of it, they can iron it all out. But that one medication's got to go.
Yeah, totally. And you're fighting the good fight. Dallas, always great to talk to you, brother.
Right.
Hope to see you up at Saratoga. Good luck this week. And yeah, see you soon, bud.
All right, guys. Thanks for the call.